How are we all doing today, guys? Hopefully you guys are doing pretty dang well out there. Today's video, I wanted to go over some of the Galactic Challenges stuff that we were kind of hinted towards, or really going to be all about, what it's all going to be about, rather, for this next week in the game, because this next week in the game is going to be a huge week. Today is the 7th, rather, but when this video is live, it'll be the 8th. But the time frame of when this will actually be out for us to be able to play will be next week on the 12th. This is all what it will be. Down here, this is going to be the exhibition season, and I'm very, very excited. I would hope a lot of people out there are as excited as me, because I feel like this is a huge part to add into a game in the moment where we are with Galaxy of Heroes. This game has been out for 5 years. We haven't really gotten any new content in the game for close to a year, if not, it has been a year. I forget the last time we've had it. I forget. So, but you can see right here, the exhibition season will be on the 12th of August. So that is next week, in I guess 4 days when this video is live. So very, very cool stuff. We're gonna go into all this stuff. We're not gonna read everything, maybe not even all of it, but we will be showing you some of these graphics. You know, some of the modifiers we're gonna have to deal with. A lot of stuff to go into in today's video. So strap in and let's go into it. So today's little thing is going to be about Galactic Challenges. What is the Galactic Challenge? Well, it's a pretty cool game mode. If you guys haven't seen the road ahead, it's going to be a very, very fun and engaging, pretty fresh game mode where it kind of challenges you, hence the name Galactic Challenges, challenges you in a lot of different aspects. So one aspect I think is pretty worth noting is this little thing right here. So this little image here we can see here, you have to deal with, in specific locations, you have to deal with specific enemies. So like, for instance, this is going to be a Death Star. On Death Star, you'll be fighting some Empire. And who you'll be bringing in can change depending on whatever that, date of that fight is, or whatever the location will be. It's kind of going to be dependent on whether that happens. But what will always happen, I think, is going to be the location, and the enemy squads will kind of always coincide, being pretty similar to being what would you assume to be, the same kind of location. I guess you wouldn't be, what I'm trying to say here is, you wouldn't be seeing Jawas on a Death Star, and you wouldn't be seeing Ewoks in like Mustafar. You wouldn't be seeing some of those stuff. It's going to be kind of thematic for the most part. Also, you have here some, you got enemies, you got your modifiers, you got the locations, but the big thing I would say is the conditions right there. So conditions to me are just feats 2.0. If there was one thing I would say that I'm not looking forward to in any of this stuff, it is that right there. I'm not looking forward to feats 2.0. What I am really looking forward to, though, is being able to challenge my roster to the best I can challenge it, but also not going way too out of my league to use all these garbage characters I don't have built up, right? I want to be able to still win, make it a challenge, get good rewards, but also not make it so impossible to the point where I would have to gear and relic up all these useless characters. I don't want that to happen. So that's like one kind of thing I'm a bit worried about, I guess you could say, for like the most part. But the big thing I would say, from just not even not really going into the challenges just yet, but the big part and big chunk I think is very, very worth noting is this paragraph right here. So let's zoom in on this one. It says, behind the curtain, this update really has two parts. A whole new set of tools for us to create new events, or to create events more efficiently. And also, the Galactic Challenge is the first type of event built using this new tool set, right? And just kind of going back to what just happened recently was we got the new update with the new, I forget, the Infinity or some thing, a little bit more of the hardware in the game has gotten bumped up a little bit, right? And I think it's it's meant to have that bump for a reason. And I think this is the reason for adding in new modes a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more quickly, I guess you could say. I forget the name of that little thing, though. I don't know if it's called Infinity. I forget the name of it. Maybe you guys know down below. I don't really want to look at it right now in this video. But yeah, that's a pretty huge thing, I would say. A lot more content coming here shortly. Not just Galactic Challenges, right? But the second part here is what I think is really, really cool, is that this greatly expands our options to create even more events and game modes in the future. And that's the coolest thing here, because with just how this whole mode will work, you're going to be, having a lot of different kind of variations with teams you're going to have to use, different, against versus different characters and teams in different locations. There's so many different things here. It's kind of like a mini sandbox mode, in the sense of you're going to be, using different things in different environments, and that's really cool. It's not exactly like a sandbox mode though, because you can't, be as free as you want to be, I guess you could say. But that right there is very, very huge. It's going to be expanding our options to create even more events and game modes in the future. That's what we want. That's what we want for the longest time, I guess you could say. I've been wanting it for a long time. I've been wanting to have constant content coming here, not waiting, months and months and months talking about something. I want actually to see it for myself. I want to have them act upon their what they've been saying and talking about. And I think this is a good step in the right direction, right? Also, we've been closely monitoring Galactic challenges over the next few weeks, and we already have plans to expand this feature after our initial exhibition period. So keeping in mind, this is all exhibition, kind of going back on when GAC was first released. We had exhibitions for that as well. So we're going to have them, it's going to be released next week on the 12th. It's going to be out for that first week. They're going to kind of monitor it, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, change it to make it very fun and really exciting for a lot of these new players, because keeping in mind, this is a mode for everybody. All the way down here, we'll read this really quickly. You can access this whenever you hit level 60. As soon as you hit level 60, boom, you can access it whenever you want and play it whenever you want, as long as it's actually in your events tab, right? And it used to, they were thinking about making it so you had to have some tickets or doing your dailies to access it initially, but they actually went back on that, and you just have to be level 60 to even access and play this mode, which is really, really cool in my opinion, right? So we got that going, and I think that's a huge bonus, especially for those newer players that want to have some new fun content early on in the game, not just the GWs, the wars, not just doing your dailies, but now you have this, which is extremely good for everybody in this game, which is what we want. That's what I've been wanting the most, is having playable content for everybody. And that's what I want, and that's what they're going to probably bring us. So yeah, it's going to be all happening on the 12th. You can see here we have an enemy and we have a player modifier. So on that note right there, let's go and read some of this stuff, right? So we have some modifiers right there, but this is the screenshot I want to bring up. So modifiers are going to be playing a huge part here in these missions and these challenges, right? So you're going to have 3, it says. You're going to have a global, a player, and an enemy. The 2 that are going to be the scariest ones are, of course, ones going up against you, right? So the global and the enemy. So this is just an instance, right? This probably won't be on every single location. This is called the Dune Sandstorm, which means you're going to be having some damage over time effects. What it says, at the end of every other turn, you're going to be having applied damage over time on all units, so both you and the enemies. So you can't resist it. So it's going to be a little bit of a wrench being thrown in there in the whole, how things work in those challenges. And keeping in mind, these are going to be different phases you're going to be working on. So you're going to be having, I guess, in that case, a lot more damage over time, a lot more dots getting applied to you, which you can't resist. So that's something to look into, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more of these global ones, depending on where you're going to be located at, Death Star, Tatooine, whatever it may be, we don't know. Dagobah. Do we even have Dagobah in the game? I don't even know. But that'd be cool. But also, we have the player modifier here. So this is for a Sith. Let me scroll over here for a sec. So this is the player one. For this instance, this is all for the Sith, so I'm sure we'll have some different modifiers for different factions in the game, which is definitely going to be awesome. But for this one, we have whenever a Sith ally is defeated, all Sith allies gain 50% max health and offense stacking until the end of battle. That's pretty huge, and also you gain 50% more turn meter. And also, whenever a Sith ally defeats an enemy, they gain this cool thing called Dark Ascension. All we can see here is that you're going to have reduced damage, and you're going to be increasing your damage. So kind of like a mini lifeblood that Rey can give out to their allies. So that's pretty interesting, and that's only for Sith, right? I can go all about like what that'd be kind of looking like with your Sith, but I don't want to in this video. But a lot of cool stuff here. And then lastly, we got the enemy modifiers that we can go over here. We got the enemy modifier called Malicious Minions, and this is called, what it kind of says here is you're going to have the summoned Separatists. When they are summoned, they're going to have more speed, more max health, more max protection, and more damage, and all other Separatist allies gain half of those bonuses. So kind of like a mini the mini Chupio that we just got recently. A lot of bonus sharing, a lot of stat sharing, I guess, with all the bonuses. So a lot of crazy stuff here. I can definitely see being really hard as we go through all the tiers. And keeping in mind, there's going to be tiers 1 through 7. So it's going to be not just a couple battles and you're done. You're going to have to deal with 7 different tiers and stuff you're going to have to deal with. So that's going to be pretty cool, I think. So the first one we can see here is going to be a Sith and Separatist. So the enemy will be a Separatist, and the enemy, or the player modifier rather, would be Sith. So I'm sure you can bring in whoever you want, but you get those modifiers with those specific teams and factions. So that's the first one we'll have. That's on Tatooine. The next one will be Death Star for Empire. And then bringing your bounty hunters, you get some more modifiers, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, the Malachor with the Old Republic. So a lot of those are, all of these you can see here are all thematic between the planet and the enemy. They're all thematic. So we got Malachor, we got Old Republic, and then you got to bring in your Rebels for some more modifiers. And then we got Takodana with some First Order, and then Empire for the modifier. We got Jakku, Resistance with Old Republic as a modifier. And then lastly, we've got Camino with the Galactic Republic, and then Separatists as a modifier. And that's probably the most thematic one, actually, out of all of them. But I don't think that it's going to always be that thematic. As we can see here, Jakku and Old Republic, that doesn't really, mix into well. So I think they're going to be very, very random with the player modifier as these do go and progress, right? So that's pretty cool. Another thing I want to kind of bring up here as we kind of wrap up this whole video is with the rewards you get here. Let's go bring up this other one I got. These rewards are looking pretty tasty, guys. This is only tier 2, and in tier 2 you can see here at the very bottom, like the middle bottom right here, you're going to be getting mods, and that's a 5-dot gold speed mod. That's a diamond, and that's only tier 2. Imagine what this could be for tier 7. I don't even know what they could even bring for tier 7, and I'm already kind of excited. I would love to get some more mods and being able to kind of not go, because in what I do daily for my mod farms, I do a lot of extra refreshes and crystal spending. So if I can get some nice mods from this new mode, that will be a lot easier, I guess you can say, on my crystal, how I spend on crystals, I guess you could say, where those crystals go. So that's definitely going to be good, saving crystals. And also, I'm sure I'll probably get some crystals just by playing the mode itself. So that's definitely cool. You can see on tier 2, we were going to be fighting some gear 9s. Tier 3, 4, 5, all up to 7. I'm sure we'll be fighting some relics on those tier 6s and 7s for sure. One thing I think is really worth noting as well is right here, this exhibition season is an exhibition, so they have a lot of questions and just feedback they want from us on this new mode. So that's definitely good, keeping in mind that how the communication has been on CG to us the last little bit hasn't been too good, but now they want us to give us some feedback on this. That's gonna be really awesome. I think this is a really good step in the right direction all around the table for the communication, new content, and just kind of having a good time all the way around the table. That's really good, I think. Really awesome. So yeah, besides all that, besides the modifiers, besides who you're gonna be fighting, and all the different scenarios and locations, the rewards as well, a lot of cool stuff here. One thing I want to wrap this up with is, so we saw recently the little currency tickets, whatever you want to call it. I guess initially we saw that those could be the tickets to actually access the event itself. But now, knowing that it will not be like that, you can just access it at level 60 plus. Those will probably be currency. And you can see right here, right before it says that, it says, "We'll be closely monitoring your feedback on the rewards for feats and completing tiers. These rewards are subject to change, and we may vary the types of rewards or provide a special currency in the future." So right there, my last thoughts here is the special currency in the future. I think that those things that we did get data mined recently are going to be the currency for potentially unlocking shards for either new characters, old characters, ships, or whatever it may be, gear, Kairos, anything, honestly. So I think right there really opens up a huge door for new characters to be added into the mode, kind of like a guild event token store with Darth Malaks, Gasses, Hermit Yodas even, and Wampas, all those sort of things. It could be one of these, but 2.0, right? So that's my last thoughts here. I think that is very interesting, and I want to bring it up very lastly because that is also something worth noting. But yeah, guys, that'll probably do it for my video today. My thoughts on it all, I am very pumped and excited about this whole mode, and I really hope that you guys are as well. I think this is a great step in the right direction for adding in new content, more communication, having a lot more fun, playable content for not just the top people, the whales and all those Krakens, but also for the free-to-play and the newer players as well. This is definitely really great for the game. So I love it a lot. Really looking forward to it next week on the 12th. And yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this down below in the comments. You guys like it, you guys don't like it, you guys gotta let me know. If you enjoyed the video today, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new here. What else we got? We got Discord, we got Patreon, we got channel memberships, all down below in the description. Go check them out if you guys would like to. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out, and have a good one.